Good evening, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. In Parliament, Lok Sabha refers the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill 2026 to a 31-member joint parliamentary committee. Russian President Vladimir Putin threatens to seize ships belonging to European countries in retaliation for plans to target Moscow's shadow fleet. Rescue operations underway across Colombia after powerful earthquake. Death toll climbs to 250. Cities of Cali and Pereira worst hit. During the ongoing monsoon session of Indian Parliament on Wednesday, the lower house passed the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2026 after Union Coal and Mines Minister G. Kishan Reddy moved it for consideration. The legislation seeks to make India's mining sector more efficient and investment friendly while boosting supply of critical minerals. After the bill was passed in the Lok Sabha, the proceedings of House were adjourned for the day. The lower house also passed the motion to refer the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill 2026 to a 31-member Joint Parliamentary Committee (JPC). Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju strongly defended the FCRA Bill, rejecting opposition's claims that the bill targets NGOs and minority groups.
प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि विदेशी अभिदाय विनियमन संशोधन विधेयक 2026 को इस सभा के 21 सदस्यों जो कि माननीय अध्यक्ष द्वारा नामित किया जाए और राज्यसभा के 10 सदस्यों जो कि माननीय सभापति द्वारा नामित किया जाए से मिलकर बनी दोनों सभाओं की संयुक्त समिति को सौंपा जाए कि संयुक्त समिति की बैठक आयोजित करने के लिए गणपूर्ति संयुक्त समिति के सदस्यों की कुल संख्या का लगभग 1/3 होगी कि समिति अगले सत्र के प्रथम सप्ताह के अंतिम दिन तक इस सभा को प्रतिवेदन प्रस्तुत करेगी.
The Rajya Sabha is discussing to consider the Kerala Alteration of Name Bill, which proposes renaming the state to Keralam, along with National Cooperative Development Cooperation Amendment Bill. Meanwhile, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju accused the opposition of not letting the Parliament function smoothly, despite the government's will for an open discussion on several issues.
जिंदगी में पहली बार मैं ऐसा दृश्य देख रहा हूं जहां सरकार चर्चा चाहते हैं, सरकार डिस्कशन चाहते हैं पार्लियामेंट में और ओपोजिशन भाग रहे हैं. ये कल्पना करना मुश्किल है क्योंकि पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेसी में ओपोजिशन पार्टी डिस्कशन के लिए डिमांड करते हैं और सरकार जवाब देते हैं. यहाँ तो सरकार खुद ही कह रहे हैं कि हम डिस्कशन करेंगे, जवाब देंगे, और ओपोजिशन जवाब सुनने नहीं चाहते और भाग रहे हैं.
31-member Joint Parliamentary Committee to scrutinize the FCRA Bill, and Home Minister is scheduled to move the motion in Lok Sabha. Earlier, Amit Shah accused the opposition of running away from the debate on the issue of NEET exam and stalling of Parliament. Home Minister dared the opposition to let the discussion take place in Parliament on the students' issue and assured that he will give a detailed response.
जब से संसद सत्र शुरू हुआ तब से लगातार मैं संसद में आता हूं, मेरी चैम्बर में बैठा हूं. चूंकि संसद भवन के अंदर विपक्ष संसद को चलने ही नहीं दे रहा है दोनों गृहों में, तो कोई जाकर क्या करेगा. जहां तक चर्चा का सवाल है, सरकार की ओर से किरण रिजिजू जी ने, जो हमारे पार्लियामेंट्री अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर है, उन्होंने बहुत स्पष्ट कर दिया कि जो नीट आंदोलन के छात्र प्रदर्शन पर सभी प्रकार की चर्चा करने के लिए सरकार तैयार है और चर्चा के लिए समय सुनिश्चित किया जाए और विपक्ष तैयार हो जाए। पहले तो ये यही मांग कर रहे थे, हमने हाँ बोल दिया। मेरी ओर से भी मैंने कह दिया है कि मैं किसी भी सवाल का जवाब देने के लिए संसद में तैयार हूं, मगर वो चर्चा ही नहीं होने देना चाहते। अब जनता तय करे कौन भाग रहा है। आज 3 बजे तक स्पीकर साहब को वो पत्र दे दे, 3 बजे से लेकर कल 3 बजे तक सभी प्रकार की चर्चा के लिए हम तैयार हैं। मैं सदन में ही बैठूंगा, सबको सुनूंगा और सब चीजों का जवाब दूंगा। सरकार के पास छुपाने के लिए कुछ नहीं है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday released former President Ramnath Kovind's autobiography, Triumph of the Indian Republic, My Life, My Struggles, in New Delhi. The book chronicles former president's inspiring life and his efforts to serve the society. He served as the 14th President of India from July 2017 to July 2022. Before becoming the President, he served as the Governor of Bihar from 2015 to 2017. As India prepares to celebrate 80th Independence Day, the spirit of patriotism is sweeping across the country. The government has appealed to citizens to actively participate in Har Ghar Tiranga campaign, urging people to hoist tricolour and renew their commitment towards Viksit Bharat. DD India's Adanmya Mishra gets us more.
The tricolour, a symbol of India's pride, unity and sacrifice, is once again becoming the centre of celebrations as the nation prepares for its Independence Day. Ahead of India's 80th Independence Day, the government has appealed to people across the country to participate enthusiastically in the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. The campaign encourages citizens to hoist the national flag and strengthen the feeling of patriotism while taking a pledge to contribute towards building a developed India. The campaign is also being dedicated to the 150th anniversary of the national song Vande Mataram. In New Delhi, Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan flagged off a special bike rally from Bharat Mandapam as part of the campaign. Members of Parliament and several participants joined the rally, which concluded at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. Addressing the gathering, the Vice President said that Vande Mataram became a driving force during India's freedom struggle and inspired people in their fight against colonial rule. The spirit of the campaign was also seen in New Delhi, where Sports Minister Mansukh Mandviya led a cycle rally along with volunteers of My Bharat. Hundreds of young volunteers participated in the rally and conveyed the message of fitness and a healthy India. The Sports Minister said that a healthy citizenry is essential for building a developed nation.
दिल्ली के सड़कों पर माय भारत के वॉलंटियर्स के द्वारा हर घर तिरंगा साइकिल यात्रा करके देश के युवाओं को संदेश दिया है कि मोदी जी के विकसित भारत के आह्वान को साकार करने के लिए, हमारी देश की आज़ादी को कायम बनाए रखने के लिए हम युवा सशक्त रहे तो भारत स्वस्थ रहेगा, और भारत स्वस्थ रहेगा तो मोदी जी का समृद्ध भारत का, विकसित भारत का स्वप्न साकार होगा.
Union Minister Jitendra Singh also participated in a Tiranga bike rally which painted the capital streets in patriotic colours. Organised by the Ministry of Culture, the mass rally was aimed at invoking national pride and encouraging citizens to hoist the national flag at their homes. In Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha called upon people to carry forward the spirit of patriotism, unity and national service. He said the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign has evolved into a mass movement of national consciousness and should become a lasting tradition of love for the motherland. A mega Tiranga rally was also organized in Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag ahead of the Independence Day. The rally was led by Deputy Police Commissioner of Anantnag, DIG South Kashmir and SSP Anantnag. Government employees, local residents, men and women participated in large numbers, carrying the tricolour and raising patriotic slogans. In Chhattisgarh's Narayanpur too, a Tiranga Yatra was organized as part of Independence Day celebrations. Chief Minister Vishnu Dev Sai, Deputy Chief Minister Vijay Sharma, students, youth and local residents participated enthusiastically in the march. From the national capital to J&K and Chhattisgarh, the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign is uniting people in the spirit of patriotism and national pride. Adamya Mishra's report for DD India.
Updates from Russia-Ukraine conflict now. Ukrainian drone strikes on Russia's south killed 2 people, including an 8-year-old child, on Wednesday. Russian overnight strikes on a frontline city in southern Ukraine also killed 2 people. As per local authorities, Russia's Krasnodar tourist hotspot saw a barrage of several hundred Ukrainian drones. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kiev had carried out a unique operation targeting the naval base in Novorossiysk, in the last major stronghold of the Russian fleet in the Black Sea. Russia shot down over 500 Ukrainian drones across its territory and the Black Sea overnight, its defense ministry said in a statement. In latest development, Russian President Putin threatened to seize ships belonging to European countries in retaliation for plans to intercept and seize Russian vessels suspected of forming Moscow's shadow fleet. Several European companies have intercepted ships carrying Russian oil in contravention of European sanctions targeting the vital revenue source. New sanctions passed last month permit EU members to sell the oil or any other cargo seized from the ships. Speaking while overseeing the naval drills in Russia's Far East, Putin said Russia would respond wherever it deems necessary and appropriate.
We can see the authorities in some countries, in breach of international maritime law, are attempting to restrict the movement of our economic operators' vessels, peaceful vessels at that, and recently they have gone so far as to consider the possibility of seizing our vessels and selling off the property they had plundered from us. Naturally, this is nothing other than piracy and robbery, and if this begins to happen in practice, we will be forced to respond in kind.
In other news, the International Energy Agency has lowered its global oil demand forecast for the year as supply disruptions and high prices continue to impact consumption. The IEA now expects global oil demand to fall by 1.6 million barrels per day, higher than its earlier estimate of about 1 million barrels per day decline in July. Oil prices remain high after US-Israeli strikes on Iran triggered a conflict that damaged energy infrastructure across West Asia. The agency believes the demand is likely to return to growth in the 4th quarter of this year as supply conditions improve. Drones struck the Sudanese capital Khartoum and the northern cities of Edbara and Al Damer at dawn on Wednesday in what appeared to be a coordinated attack after months of relative calm. Explosions and anti-aircraft fire were reported near the Army's Wadi Seydna base. This is north of Omdurman. Similar reports of drones and blasts came from Army-controlled northern cities. No immediate casualties were reported. The strikes come amid Sudan's ongoing civil war between the military under Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF led by Mohammad Hamdan Daglo, which began in April of 2023. Rescue operations are underway across Colombia following a powerful earthquake that killed at least 250 people, with cities of Cali and Pereira suffering the worst destruction. Rescue teams, soldiers and volunteers are working round the clock to locate survivors trapped beneath collapsed structures. Rescue teams are combing through the debris in quake-hit cities of Cali, Pereira, Manizales, Quibdó, racing against time to find survivors. Around 5,000 homes have been damaged across the country, while several residential buildings have been completely collapsed. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. It's International Elephant Day today.
This week on Defense Dynamics, is India ready to enter the 6th generation fighter race? New Delhi explores a role in French-led FCAS. What does that mean? Could the 114 Rafales become Indian Air Force's biggest fighter acquisition in decades? And what does the successful Agni 4 trial mean for India's strategic deterrence capability? Find it all this week on Defense Dynamics this Wednesday at 8 PM IST only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. From record heat waves in the United States and Europe to wildfires in Canada and Spain, extreme weather is intensifying worldwide. Typhoon Dolphin has also triggered heavy rains and floods in China, as scientists warn that a strengthening El Nino combined with climate change is worsening heat, drought and fire risk. Here's more.
Typhoon Dolphin's remnants have triggered heavy rains and flooding across eastern and central China. In Zhengzhou, roads were submerged, disrupting traffic as commuters waded through knee-deep water. Typhoon Dolphin has weakened after traveling over 6,000 kilometers, but continues to fuel heavy rains and flood risks across China. Meanwhile, British Columbia is facing a rising wildfire threat with 102 active fires amid severe drought and extreme heat. Major wildfires near Okanagan Lake are worsening as drought and falling water levels increase Canada's wildfire risks. Spain is also facing one of its worst wildfire seasons, with thousands evacuated as fires burn across the country. Over 2.44 lakh hectares have been affected amid extreme heat and dry conditions. Emergency shelters have been set up to provide food and accommodation to evacuees. Puerto Rico has begun water rationing amid severe drought, leaving thousands without running water for up to 48 hours. Residents are relying on community wells and distribution points for daily needs. Severe storms hit the US Midwest, triggering tornado warnings and causing damage. One person was killed in an explosion in Indiana. In Croatia, tourists head underwater to escape summer heat. Brazil faces growing risks from droughts, floods, and wildfires as rising temperatures intensify extreme weather. The biggest losses were seen in the Amazon rainforest and biodiverse Cerrado savanna. Experts say El Nino is driving hotter, drier conditions, while warmer oceans and atmosphere are increasing the intensity of extreme heat, droughts, heavy rains, and wildfires. Bureau Report, DD India.
The 16th Finance Commission has recommended grants worth 4,35,236 crore rupees for duly constituted rural local bodies across all 28 states for the award period of 2026 to 2031. Chhattisgarh gets rupees 11,664 crore under 16th Finance Commission grants. The Ministry of Finance has issued operational guidelines for implementation of rural local body grants recommended by the 16th Finance Commission. The grants follow an 80-20 ratio of basic grant and performance grant. The Ministry of Panchayati Raj has developed a training module on own source revenue (OSR) to strengthen the financial self-reliance of Gram Panchayats. Tied grants focus on sanitation, solid waste management and water management, while for strengthening digital payments, monitoring and Panchayat audits, e-Gram Swaraj has been developed. International Elephant Day, also known as World Elephant Day, is being celebrated today. The theme this year is Safe, Eco-Friendly Corridors, Safe Elephants, aimed at protecting natural migration paths and habitats of the animals.
Did you know India is home to nearly 60% of the world's wild elephant population? These magnificent animals are not just a symbol of India's natural heritage. They are vital to our ecosystems. India has 33 elephant reserves and 150 identified elephant corridors. The elephant is also recognized as India's national heritage animal, reflecting its deep connection with our culture and traditions. India launched Project Elephant in 1992 to ensure the long-term survival of elephants in their natural habitats. The results show progress. India's wild elephant population increased from 26,786 in 2018 to 29,964 in 2022. Here are some fascinating elephant facts. Elephants can spend up to 19 hours a day feeding. They can produce around 220 pounds of dung a day, helping disperse seeds and support forest ecosystems. Their diet includes grasses, bark, roots, leaves and small stems, along with crops such as bananas, rice and sugarcane. An elephant's trunk contains up to 40,000 muscles. It helps them drink water, pick up objects, communicate and interact with other elephants. And elephants have the longest gestation period of any mammal, around 22 months. Elephants are more than an iconic species. They help maintain forests, disperse seeds, and support biodiversity. This World Elephant Day, let's celebrate conservation and strengthen our commitment to protecting these gentle giants. Protect elephants, protect ecosystems, protect our future.
And on World Elephant Day, a special documentary titled Gajalok, Wild, Sacred, Eternal by Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage or INTAC was screened in New Delhi. The film traced the presence of elephants across South and Southeast Asia, documenting their representation in architecture, literature, religion, folklore, rituals and festivals. The film brought together heritage experts, conservationists and representatives of UNESCO. The Asian elephant today faces rapidly changing landscape, making coexistence between people and wildlife an increasingly important challenge. It is here that cultural heritage can become a bridge to conservation, reminding communities that protecting elephants also means protecting traditions, landscapes and knowledge systems built around them. Speaking at the screening, UNESCO Regional Office for South Asia Director and Representative Tim Curtis highlighted the larger significance of preserving such living cultural connections.
Majestic nature of elephants captures us all, and it shows how important it is to protect all of this. In UNESCO, we've been moving. I'll just go back. The Secretary General of the United Nations has talked about the triple planetary crisis facing the planet: loss of biodiversity, climate change, and pollution. Being those three together are what is called a triple planetary crisis, and biodiversity is a high concern for UNESCO, and the elephant stands there as a symbol of that importance, because as we saw, the elephant's role is not just us who shape the biodiversity. Each animal has its role to play, some bigger than others. So we've been using in UNESCO the idea of reconciling with nature. UNESCO was created to make peace among people, but we need to make peace with nature.
India's drive to expand business and take Indian products to global markets has found a new platform in Bharatiya Vyapar Mahotsav. The Vyapar Mahotsav 2026 began today at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi with the aim of giving fresh momentum to Indian businesses and entrepreneurship. Being held from 12th to 15th of August, the Mahotsav brings together MSMEs, women entrepreneurs, exporters on a common platform. More than 1,000 exhibitors, around 2 lakh businesses are expected to participate in the event. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal highlighted the Modi government has taken several measures to ease business, boost Indian industry and improve business environment. Indian and Australian Navy reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening maritime cooperation during the 17th Navy-to-Navy staff talks held in Sydney on 11th and 12th August. The two-day talks were co-chaired by Assistant Chief of Naval Staff Rear Admiral Sachin Ruben Sequeira and the Commander of Australian Fleet, Rear Admiral Christopher Smith. During the discussions, both sides focused on enhancing operational coordination, increasing complexity of bilateral naval exercises, and expanding cooperation in capability, development and training. In sports, 107 football teams from across the country will be participating in the Subrata Cup football tournament, which kicks off on 18th August. The prestigious tournament is hosted by Subrata Mukherjee Sports Education Society of Indian Air Force and includes the under-17 boys, under-17 girls and under-15 boys category.
107 teams in 3 categories, that is under 17 boys and girls and under 15 girls will be participating in this tournament. We have 2 teams from Sri Lanka, both the boys teams participating. The matches will be played at Delhi and Bengaluru. The schools are at full josh. They are full of zeal, ready to play. I am quite sure we are going to get a lot of good talent this time for the national team as well as for the club teams.
That's all in this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan this QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.